another day one of making content in a new way, in a new light, with a new intention, until I guess manifest would be the best word, appropriate word, for lack of maybe better words, of the life that I really would rather be living. And it's funny, the conundrum that I find myself in when I even say that out loud, because all the practices that I have known to be real and known to be true and like can implement and use as like, well, you become that reality. You act as if you're already in that reality in order to live that life that you would rather be living. And I keep circling coming back around to it and circling back around to that feeling. And I've hit it so many times, and lately it just feels like I'm in kind of like this wind tunnel of that experience, because I see it, I grab it, and I pull it in, and then somehow it's like, oh, it slips through my fingers, and I see it over there again, I grab it and I pull it in, and I'm just doing this dance. And it's a really small window of time for me to feel it and realize it, feel it and realize it. And that's like the important thing with what I'm talking about right now along this journey, because I put myself through esthetician school and got my lash tech license, my lash artist license, I guess I should say. And also, now that I specifically put myself through school, I agreed to hold myself accountable to go through school, while my parents also supported me and helped me through school. But that is to say that my efforts were because that is something that I really wanted to do. I wanted to become a lash artist, and I want to make my own hours, and I want to find the freedom in the things that bring me joy, because I really enjoy doing lashes. And to me, that is like something fruitful that I can gain a lot of relationships with, and find a lot of harmony in the ways in which I want to live my life, which is like, I want to have more freedom to travel and have more material financial abundance at my disposal. Like, I can support myself, I can support what I look forward to, hopefully as a family sooner than later. I want to get my own house again. I want to get a new car. There's things that in this life I would like to accomplish sooner than later, and in order to do that, I have been taking the appropriate steps to align myself to those things. However, I keep running into like these little hiccups where I get in my head thinking that like I'm not doing enough, or maybe I'm not making it far enough, and whatever amount of time I've convinced myself is like, if I don't do it by this time, then I must be a failure. Or if I don't get seen enough, then that means like I'm not worthy, or I don't matter, or that whatever I have to say is not as important as what somebody else has to say. And in doing that, I have also somewhat convinced myself to just coast. And at the same time, I'm running so much hyper awareness of like my mental scape in the background. Like, it's on like full speed, because I'm going to a 9-to-5, I'm doing what I need to do, I'm having to like show up to a job just to make money, to sustain myself. And none of that is inherently wrong, because mind you, I haven't done that for over a year. I had just recently got a part-time job, first time in over a year. And so adjusting to that change while also having graduated school, which was like a whole new thing for me. I did not think that I was going to go back to school at all, but I did, and I did it, and I'm so proud of myself. But I'm doing all of these new things while also knowing that in my heart and in my core, the truth of who I am is like to serve. And funny enough, I have a serving job. I'm waiting tables, but I'm also going to this place that doesn't necessarily fuel that inner fire with me. It's literally just to make a paycheck. And sometimes we have to do that thing, that uncomfortable thing, in order to maybe have more doors open for us. And also, I know that we don't have to do it that way, and that's just one way, you know, like it's just one outlet, it's just one vibration amongst the holographic sphere of opportunities and options that we can take advantage of in order to create the life that we actually want to live. So right now, what I'm finding myself is I've been picking up on that I want to make more YouTube videos, because again, this is something I keep coming back to because it is a form of freedom that I've always wanted to have, that I know would support me if I could stay, again, consistent and maybe a little bit more disciplined, and also just and discipline, not like masculine, like I gotta show up and do this thing and it's gotta be like fit in this box and it's gotta be really rigid and has to look a certain way. Discipline in the sense of I'm agreeing to show up for myself in a unique way that allows me the ability to see how much I can say yes to myself, how much I can accept and surrender, rather, how much I can surrender to my faith. And my faith is joy, freedom, abundance, prosperity, loving awareness, unconditional love. It is, I think freedom is like the thing that we always say, but do we actually really know what that means? But like, that's the immediate feeling that we feel. We just know that to be true. And so many of these things that we do in life, we know it to be true, but we don't really understand why. And I'd like to offer, like, that's the space where faith really comes through. And whatever that means to you, it doesn't have to mean like Christianity. It means I am relying on that feeling that feels good within me, within my heart, within my body, to act upon, to do, to receive, to surrender to something that will support that feeling. And for me, I've circled so much around maybe what that looks like and how to relate to it. And what I've also found is it really isn't that important. The most important thing to me is how much I can come back into a space of really honestly forgiveness for thinking that it needs to be something important, for thinking that like I have to have some textbook defined representation or definition of something that can be like repeatable for other people, maybe, like, and even that, like, why? Because everybody's on their own journey, like it doesn't even matter. And then also realizing, oh, it's just that I can be myself and I can share what I know, I can share what's real for me, and know that it's going to be received by the people it needs to be received from. And I got super inspired by listening to somebody else's video, which is one of the practices that I use in order to keep my discipline up within myself. That faith spot that I'm talking about within myself is to hear other people talk. And guess what? YouTube is one of those places to do that. Podcast is one of those places to do that. Going into your immediate communities, farmers markets, events, and places like this where we're all communing, talking to each other, hearing certain things. And it doesn't always mean that we 100% all the time agree with what it is that we're saying or know exactly what it is that it's saying, but we have the intuitive heart and ear to hear, feel, sense what is real for us, what makes sense for us, to pick up on and receive the exact wisdom, words, medicine, information that is necessary, and or maybe potentially a trigger moment to instill or inspire something that creates greater change for the purpose of being of greater service to not only ourselves but the world at large, in our collective, in our communities, in our relationships, in our societies. And yeah, just feeling like I was going on a little rampage and a tangent there. So just wanted to share that this was, again, kind of like another moment of me coming back into this realization that, like, I want to do the things that I want to do and not overcomplicate them and make them have to look a certain way just because maybe I'm underqualified in one category but maybe overqualified in another, or maybe I think I don't know enough to start, or maybe I think nobody's going to receive the message that I'm speaking because maybe I just don't make any sense at all. And all of that stuff is really, like, insignificant sometimes, probably more so all the time. And this is just me agreeing to that, and also saying that you can do it too if you're in the same boat, if you're in the same space, because I think the direction in which the world is continuously cycling through the wheel of fortune, as it were, is we're always going to have these cycles, and we're always going to come into a space of maybe something similar to this moment in time, which we have been before, but it's not uniquely special and distinct like it is right now. But what I can say is the world in which we're living right now and what it is coming to is a sense of we have to be ourselves. We have to be unique. We have to be receptive in the sense to our own understanding, in the sense of receptive to our own light and what we would, what we would like to see in others. Like, I think we're all in agreement that we would love to see more people, especially have acceptance for ourselves to be exactly who we are and not feel guilty, shame, fear, pain, or hurt because we have a unique expression to offer the world and it needs to be kept in the corner, or it needs to be kept away so nobody else can see it, or it looks so unique that nobody's going to understand it. Like, our priorities are shifting, and without getting so much into it, because I also don't know so much about it, but astrology tells us that right now we're shifting a lot of the Uranus transits are shifting a lot of things for us, and it's really coming to a head of, like, we're celebrating our uniqueness. We're celebrating the individual people that we are by also recognizing, like, wow, we are all so unique that is the thing that also makes us the same, which is such a beautiful connecting piece, because I think there, on one hand, is a collective of people who think the separation is necessary, while the others are using the unique individuation process of being in our own human vessel and temple and body to realize that we're all the same, and that is our connecting point to source, to spirit, to the divine, to the unique expression of God within each and every one of us. That is that, again, that bonding essence, that bonding glue, so to speak, of who we are, what we are doing here, and the importance of just finding the days, the times, the moments, the breaths of reprieve, of remembering and saying that it's okay and telling ourselves it's okay. So for me, I'm about to head into my 9 to 5, which I am manifesting will be a shorter time than not. And and whatever degree of spatial time awareness that doesn't even exist. But doing something different than what I'm doing now, which is just more so action oriented, how I show up in the world, based. So what I can do today and what you can do today, the first actionable steps that you can do today is shifting your mindset, telling yourself that you're already doing it, which is, sorry, I had coffee and it's like, because I'm speaking, I'm moving the energy and it's coming up as hiccups and burps. But giving yourself the mindset shift, the okay, to tell yourself it's okay to have the mindset shift, that even if your physical reality is shifting, I don't want to say that it's not there yet, or it's not what it needs to be, or what you want it to be. It is shifting. So always know that it's evolving and it's shifting. So keep that in mind, while also anchoring in that to be more of a grounded frequency, a grounded energy. So again, seeing it, receiving it, and feeling it, receiving it and feeling it. So today, the action step for me is to not let the physical reality make me confused or confuse me, or not let it confuse me, because maybe the thought of what I would like to be doing looks different than what my physical reality is showing me at this moment. But what I can do is the internal feeling. So the internal feeling is I'm free and I'm living in my joy and all good things are coming for me. I receive openly and fully my highest and greatest excitement. I am meeting people who are supportive of me, who wish the best for me. I am allowing the universe to provide people, places, and experiences that bring me joy and my highest excitement. I am aligning to the timeline that supports my freedom and my joy, and that is filled with unconditional love. There's probably so many more things that I could say to that, but I'm going to make this as short and sweet as possible. So yeah, here's to more videos, and also just to say hey in the ethers, because I haven't posted in a really long time, that if you're also in the same boat, here's to us. Cheers. Nice to see you. Happy to make your acquaintance if it's the first time that we're meeting, and that this message lands for you, that you do subscribe, that you give me a like. I know everybody asks of that, but that is truly the way that we're building and connecting on platforms like YouTube, on Instagram and TikTok, and whatever it is, wherever it is that you're finding me. Please do that. It supports me a lot, and it's also part of the transitional experience. And even if you don't, even if you've watched all the way through, that is one way also that has really genuinely helped me get more videos out there like this. So until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.